Morytania is a great region in RuneScape. It has things to do for every stage of your account, simple things like early game agility to complex things like Theater of Blood. It's produced the greatest region-locked account series in RuneScape's history, and it has one of the best quest lines in the game, which I completed last episode, and it was great. It even has a surprising number of easy moneymakers. Some moneymakers will serve as no surprise, while others may be news to you. I even found a hidden moneymaker that's not even listed on the wiki. But before I head there, let's pick up where I left off from the last episode. The map of RuneScape is divided into chunks, an invisible area of 64 by 64 tiles. This is Gather Chunks. Gather Chunks is one of these what we call chunk accounts, but not a traditional one. Firstly, this account is a main account. Secondly, to unlock a new chunks, instead of completing chunk-specific tasks, I need to obtain items on the collection log. So think collection log completionist, but chunkman style. I can choose any adjacent chunk with no rolling. An exception to this is all forms of physical travel. I also pay GP per chunk. This is 10,000 times the numerical order of the chunk, hence the main account. I've started on a fresh level 3 account, and I've unlocked my first 200 chunks. Now I'm in season 3 of the account. 3 collection log items are needed, plus the GP per chunk. The end goal of this account is the Trimmed Achievement Diary Cape. And join me as I unlock RuneScape one chunk at a time. Welcome to Locking Chunks Season 3. I wonder if that guy knows he's wearing my cape. Anyways, my miscellaneous approval was pretty bad here, so after I finish this star, I'm going to work on that. Alright, so I got it back to 100%. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and deposit some money, and I'm going to go ahead and collect my resources. I have a fair amount of resources here, it's been a while. Alright, I think this isn't too bad for a neglected kingdom. Alright, so I don't think I'm gonna make too much money here based on what I'm seeing. So a grand total I get about 7.2, so I may have broken even at the very best. This is about 60k profit per day for mains if you have the same exact resources that I'm collecting. You just have to maintain your favor.
1, 2, 3.
So the game had just updated and all the shooting stars are missing, but I think I found every star miner in the game. People are not very happy about the 8 minutes of no Stardust. I don't think I've ever seen this many people locking to 1 star before. And here's the last level. I think I'm gonna get 83 mining. I'm pretty much wrapping up here. Yeah, I'm done here now. It's been a long time. I don't know how many hours this has been. Probably about 50 hours. I'm pretty close to the 85 rec for the Achievement Diary Cape, which is a solid W out of this. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up a collection log item here. I have a lot of Stardust. I'm going to pick up this Star Fragment. This is a cosmetic for your Prospector outfit. Now, I don't plan to actually upgrade this thing. It's not an upgrade, it's just a cosmetic upgrade. Yeah, I have this now. Since I had just unlocked Darkmire in the last episode, I'm going to go ahead and start the first Morytania moneymaker here. I'm going to be thieving blood shards from the Firewatch. I did get 1 set last episode and I got pretty lucky on that. If I can maintain that good luck here, I could easily be looking at over 3 mil GP per hour. Let's see what can be done here. I really want to snag at least 2 to 3 sets if I could. Maybe I'll go to about 96, maybe 97, depending on how it goes. There we have 96 thieving, still only 1 set. I think I'm going to stay here till 97, I decided. Alright, so if I can succeed here, there it is, 97 thieving. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I got 3 sets. They're not in my inventory because may have died once or twice, lost a couple thousand hundreds of GP and coffer costs, but no big deal. Alright, I'm ready for a payday here. I'm gonna hold on to these blood shards for now, sell all these gems, runes, and here's the cash obviously that I have. Yeah, these blood shards just aren't worth selling right now. I'm hoping they go up a little more because this honestly took me like 10 days to do. But grand total, minus the blood shards, get about 4 mil out of that, not bad. I'd call it 3.5 mil since I did die a few times and I used some supplies. So I consider the first Morytania moneymaker a pretty big success. I do sell these later on for about 7 mil GP each, so I made 45 mil in about 15 hours, so 3 mil per hour. For my next moneymaker, I'll be sticking to Darkmire and going to the Hollowed Sepulchre. I've never actually been here, so I'm pretty excited to go there. I have plenty of collectional items to easily obtain here, and I've heard the money is pretty good, so let's go test it out. Well, would you look at that? I got all 4 of these pages. I'm actually pretty surprised. I haven't actually kept up with these pages and seeing what I have and don't have. but I can make the Holy Book now. So I can go to Jasik's shop here, get the Saradomin book, and add all my pages to it, making it into the Holy Book. This will be my offhand until I get the lantern. I actually have a pretty decent setup here, not gonna lie. I got my planks, I got my hammer and my saw, the dust, some nails and some planks, and then I'm gonna wear my graceful. Just couldn't wear my graceful out here, I'll get bit. But this is my first time actually stepping foot in here. I have tile packs on, so I'm just gonna kinda just assume. I'm gonna click on the yellows. I'll figure it out. So each floor does have a chest, and some floors even have 2 chests. I think it guarantees hollowed marks, which is like the currency here. Plus some items, which is gonna be where I make the money. And hey, speaking of, there's a hollowed mark. Just one, but that's all I need. I'm gonna go ahead and not loot the first chest. I think that's the way. I'm coming up on the floor 2 completion here, so I haven't made any mistakes so far. I'm actually kind of enjoying this for agility. This is pretty interactive. Good dopamine when you loot the chests. I think I can see myself going to at least 80 this session. Okay, that final obstacle on floor 3 definitely took me like about 5 minutes, I'd say. So if I take a look at the shop here, there's all kinds of items. Most of these are on the collection log, I think, except for the actual hollowed sack maybe, which is like, you know, you can just exchange marks for items. And these crystals here teleport you directly to this lobby. I'm determined to figure this out. I don't know what these tile pack indicators are actually used for. I'm just running right here and it's working. I don't think this is right, but I got it. I don't know. I have no idea what those tile markers could be about. I guess I have to keep doing this and figure it out. Okay, so I got a mysterious page. I have to look a little more into these, but I know there's 5 of these. Oof, I just barely made that, but I've completed 1 hour here. I don't think that I got very good XP. I can definitely expect a little more. If you look at the bottom of my inventory, this is all the loot I've gotten. So 56 marks is pretty good. All these bolts are nice for cash, and runes are decent too. Alright, so I just completed that lap after the 1 hour mark. I'm gonna go ahead and buy the hollow token, which I believe just gives you 1 extra minute. So if you wanted to have the next floor open, you would use this, and yeah. Well, this floor completion is 21, and it should get me 77 agility. And the next thing I'm going to buy is the hollowed focus. This goes in my offhand, so I no longer need the holy book. This is actually a really beneficial one. It gives you a 100% chance of succeeding when you're conjuring that portal, and it speeds it up just a tish. I have just now found out about the pages, so when I got that mysterious page, I looked into it. Turns out each floor has 1 page, so you can see I got floor 3's page, 4th floor and floor 5 still missing, and obviously floor 1 and 2. So I'm going to keep looting floor 1 until I get the page, and then I'll stop looting this floor. Oh well, speaking of, here is the floor 2 mysterious page. I don't think they're too rare, but I have no idea what they're used for. They're just collection log items. Alright, so here's another 100 hollow marks acquired. Next up, I'm going to buy the hollowed symbol. This basically cuts in half the amount of sacrifices you need to light the brazier with these vampiric ashes, which over time will save me a bit of money. Okay, floor 1's page acquired. Now I'm officially done with floor 1. I also don't think I need to have planks or nails on me anymore. There is 3 of the 5. Alright, another item coming up here, hollowed grapple this time. This one makes it so you cannot fail the grappling obstacle, and it speeds it up just a tish as well. I'm honestly pretty surprised at how quickly I'm getting all these items. I've only been here for about 3 or 4 hours maybe. You know, I had booted up my recorder to record 78 agility, which I missed. And I also missed, there's a chest over there. I just now noticed there's a chest here on floor 3 over there. I gotta go and start looting that one too. And since I've started looting that one, I'm getting marks a lot faster now. This time, I'm gonna splurge, get the hollowed ring. This one negates damage taken, and it speeds up the downtime when you get hit by something. So instead of getting a black screen, it just kind of speeds that process up, which more XP, more money, more fun. Well, hey, I guess here's a milestone. That's 100 laps. So each floor I've completed 100 laps, haven't missed any laps, making a good amount of GP. It's been about, I'd say 8 to 9 hours, somewhere around there. Making some pretty good gains here. And speaking of making some pretty good gains, here is going to be 79 agility. You know, I've been here at this point for over 10 hours, and the main reason I came here is to get this strange lockpick, which is a very useful item for a certain grind I may plan on next, but I'm like 3 times over the dang drop rate for this thing. You just complain, you get the item. There is the strange old lockpick. I was really looking forward to getting this item. It's going to be useful for Barrows tunnels. Yeah, Barrows on this account has always been a thorn in my side. My luck here is pretty dang bad. I'm hoping it turns around once I visit here later, but for now, let's finish out the agility grind. And with that item and this final lap completion, it's going to get me 80 agility. And I do plan to finish floor 3 here. You can't see, but there's 80 agility in the chat. I collected 867 marks, so I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 more items that I just didn't really need for this grind. A hollowed hammer, followed by the dark dye. I'm not going to be dyeing my graceful because based on my rules, I have to get another set of graceful, and I don't want to do that right now. Alright, everything I had obtained during that about, I'd say 15-hour grind is in my inventory. I did use this for a moneymaker, but also collectional items. But let's see how much I get. Alright, let's put these mithril bolts in for about 22 coins. Sounds good. Alright, so grand total, I get about 4.6 mil. If that took me 15 hours, I only made maybe 350-ish K. I didn't use too many supplies. Mine is skewed because I spent about 2 hours learning and not even looting every chest I could. Overall, I'd consider the Morytania Moneymaker 2 to be a pretty good success, and I only consider it so because it's agility, and this method is pretty enjoyable and it makes money. There's been one diary I've been itching to complete, and that's the Morytania Hard Diary. I haven't done the Medium Diary, so I have to do that as well. The Morytania Hard Diary is going to give me some beneficial rewards, but before I complete it, I need to unlock 2 additional chunks in the Trouble Brewing area, and then I need to harvest some watermelons on Harmony, so I'll be needing that chunk as well. And since there's a quest associated with going to Harmony, I may as well complete that quest as well. So my first step was making it to Morytania to complete the Haunted Mine quest. One of the steps is to mine a mithril ore in the Haunted Mine, so I had to complete this quest. Once I completed that quest, I started knocking out a few steps that I could do by killing a terror dog, making a Gothic balance potion, hunting and catching a swamp lizard, chopping a hollowed tree, and making some cannonballs. While I was doing this diary, and this was the medium diary by the way, I discovered a pretty lucrative moneymaker, so that's where we're going to pick up now. Okay, so while I was making these Gothic balance potions, I noticed that silver bars are very cheap, and the silver dust is actually kind of expensive. I was trying to buy some for about 1000 GP and they wouldn't buy. The method requires essentially little GP, little quest requirements, and you get silver dust just by grinding these silver bars out. You can sit here, do it AFK method. There is a more click intensive method that I will test a bit later on, but once I complete my inventory, which doesn't take too long, I bank, deposit, and get more silver bars, and rinse and repeat. So I'll test this for about 1 hour and see how many I can make. So I have made here now 800 silver dust. If I can get 1.2 mil for that, that would be fantastic. I don't know if they'll sell for that much. It looks like they actually are selling for mid-price at 937 coins. This is a pretty sweet find. I haven't even seen this listed on the money making wiki. Well, I found a hidden method. So while those things are selling, I'm going to go ahead and unlock those 2 chunks I need on the mostly harmless. So this is chunks 253 and 254. For this amount here, I'll take it out twice, and then I'll take out an additional 10k for 5 mil, pretty much right on the dot. Turn that into platinum tokens. Let's go unlock those 2 chunks. Well, I knew something like this would happen. I can't go over there. There's no other way to get there on land. I could teleport there at the minigames teleport, but since that's a magical form of travel, I cannot take it until I physically travel to that chunk. So I'll have to unlock the dead chunk here. Alright, so there's the 3 items, and luckily I did have a few extras, but it's a real shame I have to unlock this chunk. I don't think it's used at all anymore, but that's chunk 255 for 2.250 mil. Let's go get it. I have now arrived, and here is the shop. So I believe there's a total of 30 collection log items here, which will be pretty fantastic. I kind of want to test this out for a little bit. I've never actually done this since they've made all these updates the past 12-16 months. I'm on the official world and it looks pretty popular. Alright, so once I get in here, I don't exactly know. I think I go to the tool workbench here. Yeah, I take out 25 buckets. Alright, and then once I take out the 25 buckets, I'll go fill these with water. Alright, so once I have them filled up with water, this is legit all you have to do. Take them to this hopper right here. You deposit it. There's even a little picture of the water bucket. You deposit it, you do this 4 more times to get 100. Points cap out at 100, but for every rum your team makes, you can get an additional 10 points per rum, and I don't think there's a cap to that. Well, I forgot to have my recorder up. Been a long time since I completed a diary, but the Morytania Medium Diary is completed now. I get to finally update this overlay. It's literally been collecting dust. I did go back and check after I completed this diary. The last one I completed was 8 months ago. It's crazy. In that first game, I was able to fill all 100 buckets into the hopper, plus my team made 2 rums, so I got 120 points for that game. I think I'm gonna stay here for a little bit longer, to be honest.
5 hours later.
So I've been here a little bit longer than I should have been. I got 2,700 points here. This took, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 hours, maybe 5 hours, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy 1 item here. The stuff. This is used for brewing, but also this gives me a nice even 2 banked chunks currently. I'm gonna use one of those banked chunks on Harmony, so let's go ahead and head over that way. Well, what do we have here? The blood shards have sold for just under 7 mil. I get a nice payout there, about 41 mil. I wish the taxes didn't take much, but I got a lot of money now, and these silver dusts are still selling pretty well. It's only been about 1 day, so I think for the next 3 days they'll all sell. Well, I made it here, but I completely forgot A, to bring my watermelon seeds, and B, actually pay for the chunk. So I'm gonna go do those 2 things, and I'll be right back. So it'll be these 3 items here, paying for the chunk alongside, this is chunk 256. 256 there, okay. Platinum tokens, all right, this is done. Now let me go ahead and go get my watermelon seeds. All right, so seeds have been planted. I'll go ahead and finish out the quest. By the time I finish, it should be kind of almost done. I just got out of a cutscene. I don't know where I am. This is really strange. I hit escape. Escape works. I don't really know what that was about. If there's one thing I don't get about this quest, it's the entire quest. Why am I filling up a crate of cats for Dr. Frankenstein? I really want to know what was going on in the dev's head whenever they made this quest. But something I do understand is that blowing things up is sometimes just the only way. Yes, and this too. This quest really does have it all. Okay, I don't really have too much more to say about this quest other than it's a fever dream, the whole thing. But there is quest completed, and I do get the anchor, which I think I have to pay to fix. It's not going to be worth it. So now I have every quest requirement, skill requirement, and chunk unlock requirement to complete the hard diary. This is a massive deal for me. This is only my 2nd ever hard diary I'm going to complete on this account so far. So let's start firing off some of these steps. Alright, this should be the last thing I need to do. A hard temple trek is completed. There we go, there's the message. I've completed the hard tasks in the Morytania area. So one of the best features about the hard diary is A, the bone crusher, but you can also get 50% more runes at Barrows. And since I got that strange old lockpick just a little bit ago, now I think is the perfect time to go ahead and grind out some Barrows. It is worth mentioning too that these Morytania Legs 3 take you straight to Bergdorf. This used to be the meta to getting the Barrows back in like 2016, 2018 era when I had played my Iron Man. They also take you to the Ectofuntus, the bottom level where you can collect slime, but I mean, nobody's going to do that. That's pretty niche. And last but certainly not least, I do have to use both of these lamps on rune crafting. It is the slowest skill on this account by far. It's the slowest skill for pretty much everyone. So like I just mentioned, I completed the Morytania hard diary, which gives me 50% more runes when looting the Barrows chest. I have a total of 15 uniques to obtain. I won't be going for the green log here, but I do want to get as many items as possible. I'm going to be testing out 2 different setups. Wind Surge with the Air Staff, and Wind Wave with the Twin Flame Staff. A couple episodes ago, I did clog both pieces of the Twin Flame Staff, meaning I can buy it, and I honestly think that will be the better method, even though it's a weaker spell, but the only way to find out is by testing it. So I'll be starting out with the Air Staff with my Wrath Runes here. The upkeep here isn't that hard. All I have to do is buy Wrath Runes, but they are pretty expensive, so we'll see how this plays out. So this will be my first time actually using the lockpick, so all you have to do is use the lockpick on the door, and then I believe it should show the charges here. So yeah, I've used 1 charge. All right, first chest back, chest 247. I get not great, to be honest. I'm not really expecting too many items out of this, but hopefully the money will be okay. Okay, so I've done 1 hour now, right on the 400k mark, minus supplies. Maybe we're talking 325, 350k. Not great, but I did about 8kc only, still kind of shaking the rust off. Oh, there we go. There's one item. About 20ish chests in, Torag's legs. They're a duplicate, unfortunately, but that's some money. It's tradition to show the back-to-back at least one time. I got nothing. I don't think I'll show back-to-backs too often, unless I get something, of course. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's go. 2 or 3 chests later, there is the Guthans chain skirt. That is now, I believe, 1 out of 4 Guthans pieces. Oh my goodness, there's almost a well, not really almost a back-to-back, but there is a back-to-back Guthans piece. Let's go, dude. 2 collectional items already. I have officially acquired the dad bod in RuneScape, and to be honest, I acquired the dad bod IRL like 4 or 5 years ago. I guess this is worth showing. 78 defense, a 109 combat. Didn't know that was coming up, but pretty cool levels. Okay, I had forgotten to pull my recorder up because this was the first chest of the day. Just kind of put my overlay on the screen. There is the Carol's Coif. This is not a great item, I'll be honest, but it's a collection log item for me, so I'll take it 100%. And okay, yeah, that's the 3rd pair of Torag's legs. Money, at least. Okay, so my current strange old lockpick only has 4 charges. And you can actually high alch these, and they give you 19.2k back. I did buy these for approximately 26k. So instead of losing out on all 26k, I'm actually only losing out on maybe 6k, I'd say. Okay, so I've decided to just complete 50 chests as my little test for the Wind Surge. So there is chest number 50 for Wind Surge. I used about 1500 casts. So, like I mentioned a few episodes ago, I did clog both of the Twin Flame staff pieces, meaning I can't actually use these since I'm an extreme clogger, but what I can do is actually buy the Twin Flame staff. This thing's about 6.3 mil, it's looking like. I guess I'll just put it in here for that, and it's exactly mid-price. So that's a pretty good investment, but I can always sell it back whenever I need to. And also, my silver dust has sold. I think it took 3 or 4 days to sell, so 757k in about 1 hour. I think I'll do some more of that later. So this is my first ever time using a Twin Flame staff. And if you can see, I'm getting 2 hit splats. It can do this with any elemental spell, excluding strike and surge spells, which is why I have to use the Wind Wave. And it also provides a 10% increase in accuracy and damage when casting spells from the standard spellbook, so I think this will be really good. Oh, Aram's robe top. Okay, that's great, actually. I think that'll be great for certain situations. With that Aram's top, I now have 3 of 4 Arams. That would be really cool if I could complete the Aram set first. I do need to clog an entire set of barrows to complete the Morytania Elite Diary. I don't plan to do that anytime soon, but that is obviously on the back burner at some point. What? That's back-to-back Aram's robe tops. Holy... I will gladly take the money. That was really good luck.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Okay, so like with the Wind Surge, I did 8 chests per hour with that. With the Twin Flame Staff plus Wind Wave, I did 11 chests this hour. That's pretty good. It seems as if I exhausted my RNG on that back-to-back Aram's top, but it was worth it. Yeah, here is 50 chests completed of the Twin Flame Staff. I didn't get any besides these 2 items, but it's a collection log item and a ton of GP. But let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers and see which spell is better. So for Wind Surge, I had used 1,452 Wrath Runes, which current prices cost approximately 430k. I did end up averaging about 10 chests per hour, and it took me about 5 hours to do those 50 chests. For Wind Wave, I had used 1,163 Blood Runes, which cost 280k, 5,815 Air Runes, which is about 30k. I was averaging between 11 and 12 chests per hour, so to do those 50 chests, it only took me about 4 hours and 15 minutes. When comparing the numbers here, there's a clear winner. Wind Wave with the Twin Flame Staff beats out Wind Surge with an Air Staff, so that's what I'll be using going forward here. So with that clear winner, and it's honestly not surprising at all, I think I'm going to go ahead and go to about 400 chests. I've gotten 4 new collection log items, a few duplicates. I've made some money here, but I want to just kind of wrap this up. Well, here's a little milestone chest count. There is 350 Barrows chests. Okay, let's go. There's some more money there. 1.8 mil? Is that thing really worth that much? The duplicate, so I can sell it. That's pretty good. I'll take it. No way. This is my first ever double chest. It's one collection log and one duplicate. What is with these Torag items? So many duplicates of these. This is legit my first ever double chest. Okay. Okay, so I'm deciding to leave this clip in. This guy I thought 100% was rage baiting using a black salamander with a quiver on his back. It got me so good that I had Prey from Melee up and I died here. Okay, I didn't have my recorder up, but I got another double chest 10 KC later. Another Torax item, of course, but there's an Aram staff, which means full Arams. So if you take a look at the collection log, full Arams as the first set. I can officially be done with bears on this account permanently since I have all 4 items to complete an elite diary step, but I'm gonna keep going, you know? A green log here would be pretty sweet. About 9 chests after that double chest, there's a duplicate Guthan's chain skirt. Well, over time, you get a lot of magic XP by being at Barrows. There is 93 magic, inching closer to that 96 goal, I believe it is, for the elite diary. Oh heck yeah, there's another Darrock's Great Axe. So many duplicates, but so much money. Coming up on chest count 400 here, and I gotta say, okay, nothing here. I gotta say, this was a pretty massive success. I didn't expect to get this many items. If you guys have seen my previous episodes, like maybe 10 episodes ago, you'll know that I've had just the worst bear's luck. But the log looks really good now, 16 out of 25 for a clean 400 kill count. Okay, so my 6 uniques are on the top here, my duplicates are down here. More duplicates than uniques, but that's fine. Good amount of runes. If I go ahead and put everything in the price checker, I can get approximately 17.5 mil, I'd say. I'm definitely not going to get that because I do have to keep the uniques. So let's see how much I actually get here. Okay, just rounding out these final 2 items. So in total, I get 10 plus. I got 14.2 mil from that. It's a good profit. I would say approximately 500k in supplies, so 13.5 mil in about 15 hours. So this was just under a mil an hour for me. I'd say this Morytania moneymaker was a pretty big success as well, and could have been even better if I sold everything. I'm a few days late starting and getting into this quest. Everybody should know what this quest is, but if you don't know, this unlocks the new cow boss, Brutus. And here is the questionable milk sample that I've heard a lot about. If you drink it, you get poisoned, and I don't think that was milk. So I think the quest version here is going to be the same exact as the actual boss. I don't think there's any... Okay, there is a mechanic here. That seems like a step back. I don't think I need Pray for Melee on. That was the entire fight. Okay, this seems like it's going to be really easy. So there's the quest completed. I can now kill the cow boss. I get access to Brutus's field, along with a amulet. I'll have to figure out where to get this amulet. Okay, so I think I talked to Gilly here. Yeah, she gives me this cowbell amulet. I believe you charge this with just solely air runes, and it can teleport you directly to here, and I didn't expect to get a lamp here. It's pretty nice. Let's see, it seems combat only. I'll just chuck it on prayer, why not? For 1,000 prayer, that's honestly kind of decent. So you just load it up with air runes up to 1,000. I'll just go ahead and put 1,000 charges. It teleports you directly to the cow pen in Lumbridge. Don't think this changes any metas, but maybe it might help out with a few clues. So there are only 4 collection logs to obtain here, 3 pretty common uniques, and then the pet. I think the pet will be pretty easy. That's what I'm going for here.
It is time, my brothers.
Is this a Gary video?
To slay the beast of all beasts.
It's Cow Killer 1337. Okay, I see you. All right, so this is going to be my first KC after the quest. That was extremely fast. It said 7 seconds, but really that was more like 3. For prayer XP, I think I could... Okay, 40 prayer XP. It's really good. How much are these? Okay, these are 224. I'll keep these for an inventory, see how much they're worth. Of course, forget to have my recorder up again, and there is the bottomless milk bucket. I think you can just literally fill this up with milk endlessly. It's implied right there. It's 1 collection log already. Well, nothing special here, just 10 KC for a combat task. So I sold 20 meats here for, yeah, that's not going to be worth it. 3k, totally not worth it. I'll just not pick those up. And there we have the Muleta. That is the, I believe, the defender that you can get. So if I take off all my gear, I think the stats are comparable to like probably a steel defender. So for free to play, really good. Well, there is a healthy 92 hit points. Oh, okay. Those things are actually worth 33k. Okay. There is the cow slippers. I think these are not so good fashionscape from what I've seen, but it's a collection log item. These make a statement in all of the wrong ways. Oh, and there we have a nice 80 defense. Okay, smarter than a cow. I'm not so sure about that. I think that's the one where you just do not get hit at all. This thing is actually really good for experience. It was 94 strength and 110 combat. I really am flying through these levels. And speaking of flying through things, I'm already at 500 KC. This is well over 200 KC per hour at least. I've gotten a lot of duplicates. Still only one cow slipper is kind of disappointing, but I'm still hunting this pet. I think I'll go to 1,000. Unless I get it here, there is going to be 1,000 KC. I believe the drop rate is 1 out of 1,000, so the next kill will be officially dry. I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now and sell everything and alch these buckets. Okay, so I did end up getting 3 cow slippers. I get a grand total of a whopping 223k for all the stackable drops plus the cow slippers. You cannot sell the muletas, but you can high alch these. These are actually high alch value of 27k, 29k. I think that was 27k, so yeah, I'm alch all these. Okay, so the final alch is done. I made about 1.1 mil, more like 1 mil because of just the minor supplies I did use. So a mil for this boss and for 1,000 KC. I wish you could sell or alch those muletas, but I made a mil, so I'll take it. One of my last major goals this video is to actually complete Lunar Diplomacy. I know it seems random, but over these next few episodes it will start to make sense. I'm not going to reveal the plan now, but just know that Lunar Diplomacy is a part of that master plan. I need a total of 5 chunks, and I currently have 4 bank chunks now, meaning I just need 3 more collection log items, and I got a pretty good place to get those. And if you guessed that skeleton right over there, you were correct. But this is the Ancient Cavern. I'm going to be getting 3 more of these mine nodes. I do have 6 already, but 20 more to obtain. These are really easy for me. I did go in depth in a previous episode regarding how I do this. So what I'm doing now is just waiting 10 minutes for my NPC aggression timer to run out, and then I can go over there. Okay, so there we go, got my 3 uniques. I did actually get a few duplicates. I didn't think duplicates were actually possible, but they are. It is officially time to pay for all of my chunks I need, 15 items for 5 chunks total, so 2.570 mil. I'm going to take that out 4 more times, and then take out a total of 40 more K, just because that is just an easier way for me to do it nowadays, for basically 13 mil to unlock the entirety of Lunar Diplomacy and Lunar Isle itself. A pretty massive side benefit for completing Lunar Diplomacy is that I'll get access to the Lunar Spellbook, which has a few pretty good spells such as Plank Meg, String Amulet, and NPC Contact, which will be pretty massive quality of life updates for this account. And it's time to unlock a chunk already, the Pirate's Cove here. I'm just going to go ahead and unlock that now. Okay, so it seems like I'm about to head actually to Lunar Isle now. I think by the dialogue, I accidentally headed there a little too soon. It's going to be darked out. I'll go ahead and unlock these next few chunks here. I really do enjoy all of these older quests. The cinematography especially, with these B-roll shots they used to do, just impeccable. A core memory I have of this game when I was a kid playing it is that this house shook so much and you couldn't turn it off. There was no way. I was kind of terrified of it, to be honest. Okay, I'm at the part of the quest where you need to visit the 4 elemental altars to make your Draymond staff into a lunar staff, and I actually don't have the first one here, the air one, but I do have access to the abyss. This is where I've done all of my runecrafting things and such, so I'll just use that. I won't need that corresponding chunk unlocked. And the final one for the lunar staff. So this acts as a Draymond staff if you ever want to use it for fairy rings. Coming up on the very end of this quest, just defeating myself, which is again a pretty trippy thing when I was a kid. This quest was a pretty big deal back then. I remember getting the 60 mining wreck took so long that once you completed this quest, it was a turning point for your account. Alright, quest completion, 5,000 magic and runecrafting XP. The 50 astral runes are much appreciated. I can sell that for a little bit. I do get the ability to use lunar spells, which is the massive part about this quest, but I will need to complete Dream Mentor and complete the Fremi Har Diary to gain access to every spell on the spell book. I'm back to making some more silver dust. I'm going to make 1,000. I've already done an inventory doing it the more click intensive method, so this takes me approximately 1 minute and 7 seconds, and I'm putting the steel bar in 1 tick after I get the dust back in my inventory. And obviously here the AFK method, where it looks like it takes an additional, I think 2 to 3 ticks per dust. You're looking at 1 minute 36 seconds per inventory doing it this way. Okay, so it's been about 2 weeks since I did my first test of this. I'm going to sell 1,000. They've gone down a little bit, it looks like. Pop them in for 800, and I guess I'll just leave it, see if they end up selling for this. I ended up testing 3 additional Morytania moneymakers here. The first one you're seeing in the background is the Fire Shades. My gear and combat stats are nothing to brag about. I was still averaging over 125 kills per hour, which with current prices is about 625-ish K per hour after supplies. Great for combat experience training too. The next one is making sacred oils. This was heavily botted when I did this moneymaker about a year ago. Now they've banned a ton of bots. There's not as many, meaning supply is down, meaning the prices go up. I did this just over 2 hours, made 1,000 oils, and this is well over a mil per hour currently. You definitely do need the Flamtier hammer, the sack, and the Flamtier bracelet. You don't get much crafting XP, but it does give you a little bit, at least. Okay, this last one I've been itching to try for a long time. I've seen this in a Trader Steve video. It has to have been at least 2 years ago by now. Buying all these hats in the canvas shop. I'm just gonna buy 1 of each and then go sell them, see which one's worth the most. So it looks like we have a good hit on the purple ones. Those are worth a lot. I'm assuming these are just used for some kind of like clan events or maybe PKing things where they're all color coordinated. Red hats aren't selling. I'll definitely buy purple and maybe some yellows. Okay, I spent about 15 minutes buying both purple and yellow hats. Let's see if I can actually get that 3,500 for these purple ones. I'll just kind of slap them in for mid price. I think I got a pretty good deal on that. Definitely more than the mid price for sure right there. And I'll put the yellow hats in also for mid price. They did sell for mid price. It looks like they did actually sell for that exact price. So purple and yellow hats currently are a pretty good investment. I'll spend like 30 minutes buying more of those maybe. It appears I've sold 500 silver dusts over 2 days, I think it's been, which I'm pretty happy with. Okay, so I did spend another 30 minutes buying hats. I got a lot of hats here, a little bit more purple ones. Let's hope they buy, because they did do a test one. They didn't buy for the current price I was selling them for. Yeah, they've unfortunately gone down. As for the yellow hats, let's chuck them in 1650. I think we'll do. Let's just see if they sell. Nope. Unfortunate. So what I'll do is just leave these in here at this price, and if they ever sell, I'll get a nice little payout. If you do get the correct hats on the correct time, it is over 1 mil GP per hour, and you can do this moneymaker in your first couple hours off of Tutorial Island. And the final spoils after 1,000 sacred oils, about 2 hours of collecting these fire shades, and just some farming and birdhouse runs that I completed. I get about 8.1 mil from the first one, and then it looks like I get about another 800k, so close to 9 mil between everything. If I look back through the history, I did collect 500 silver dust, still selling the additional 500. I would say the fire shades I made about 550k per hour, and sacred oils probably just over a mil per hour, so I would highly recommend both of those. And as for the hats here, it's a very, I'd say, touchy market. It just depends on whenever you get buyers for it. I'm just gonna leave them in there, see if they end up selling. But I will say the silver dust, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. If you're a brand new account, it's a great money maker with very little starter cash needed. So something I stopped doing for this season, but I'm going to continue it from here on out, is actually showing you my chunk map at the end of each episode. The ones in green are the ones that I got this episode, so pretty good progress down here in the Morytania section, and then the Lunar Isle section, of course. Great progress. If you want to pause it here, feel free to. This is my current map of Gielinor after episode 26. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Take care and have a good one.